After the storm, life re-emerges. Those hunkering down return to new challenges. And those who rode it out have to make major decisions. Food from the street that became a country's pride. Through times good and bad, the cooks fed the country. Here at the table are their stories of generations and aspirations. The voices of the hawker culture from inside the belly of a nation. June. The circuit breaker lifts over 2 phases. The barriers come off in the second phase. People once again dine in and interact in limited numbers. In this almost normal situation, hawkers who have been hunkering down over the months re-emerge.
My store is located at Central Business District, which means that there will be zero footfall. So I just shut down for two months until June, which 3 weeks ago, which I just reopened. My name is Donikan's son Wei Jie, so I sell fishball, noodle and yong tau hu.
Wei Jie actually does double duty. During the day, he's at his stall at Amoy Street Food Centre, and overnight, he helps out in his family's fish paste business in Toa Payoh. They make fish balls from scratch. It's all in the family, from his father to grandmother.
Since the 1960s, right, my grandfather started making fishball and yong tau hu lah. So after that, he passed on to my dad. Okay, so basically we get like yellowtail fish, right, and then we chop it into pieces. After that, since midnight lah, and we start to process them, etc., without using any surimi or any starch or preservative. So basically, the water has to be cold so that the fish meat can mix well and properly lah. I don't know the scientific reason behind it lah, but my grandfather has been doing that, so we just stick to the tradition and continue doing that. Everything is very manual. It's by feel. My father needs to touch the fish meat to should I continue adding water or stuff like that lah. So it's very essential for us to have to feel the stuff lah. It's different if you use the glove. Very different.
Then comes the mesmerizing part. The fish paste is skillfully squeezed into balls. They are all even in size. Then into tap water to keep them fresh. The paste is also used as stuffing for yong tau fu, or stuffed tofu literally, but that is a descriptive failure. Yong tau fu has Hakka origins, but the Singapore version consists of an assortment of ingredients which are stuffed and slathered with fish paste. These are quickly boiled and served with or without noodles. Soup is optional. But the sauce, made of sesame, soy, red yeast, etc., is definitely required. With ingredients that he helps to make and a little experience in cooking them, Wei Jie went into business with assistance from NEA.
So basically, last time I've always been helping my dad out during NS, and then I feel that there's not many handmade fishball noodle and yong tau in Singapore anymore. So the more I do, I also feel actually I kind of like this kind of lifestyle lah. Very hectic, the F&B and stuff like that. And I also always wanted to start my own business. So I stumbled across this NEA incubation program because you need to be 21 to be eligible for a store under NEA. So immediately after I turned 21, I went to apply for that. So I only received the verdict I think it's 3 月, this year 3 月. Yeah, then I went to sign. Then I went to open my store in April lah. When I opened in April, quite sway lah. After only 4 days of operation, right, the government announced that on the 7th of April there will be this CB lah, what they call circuit breaker.
Now that he has returned to the stall, life is busy. 5 days at the hawker centre and 4 nights in the wet market.
I hope that my body is able to take it lah, because now I have no off day basically. I'm also very lucky that my girlfriend is very she helped me a lot lah. I wouldn't make it through the first few weeks without her.
The food centre used to be busy at lunchtime, but not anymore. In the quiet, the novice hawker gets whatever practice he can.
For me personally, I feel that my grade is around, that's my personal opinion, 7 or around 8 lah. Sao ah? Okay or not?
A bit salty.
Huh? A bit salty ah? I think okay leh. You think a bit salty? No, I think it's okay leh. I think it's okay. I scared too bland leh. The problem now lies with me lah, which is the noodles, which is the skill to cook the noodles. Because I'm still quite new and the noodle cooking skill really needs some time to develop. My girlfriend is currently helping me lah. You know I'm very stressed, you know, running tight on cash, etc. So she offered to help me lah. Yeah. But she'll be going into uni in September lah, which is quite a headache for me. I need to think of another solution.
Also hunkering down over the months was Madame Leong. At 91, she's reputedly Singapore's oldest hawker. With COVID-19 still threatening, her daily routine has been tweaked. She used to do her own marketing, but now she sits back while her son Michael takes over the job.
So it's really very, very boring for her for the last 2 months.
2個月喺屋企坐啦，得閒咪睇下報紙，有時又睇下電視啦。政府話6月2號開，我哋開下啦，見下人都好啦。
She couldn't breathe because, if she's to wear the mask throughout the whole day, then, breathing is a problem. So we went to see the doctor, and he advised that, maybe the face shield should be adequate for the time being.
死好耐啦，
好啦，
整翻正喺呢度。
人間整人間。
嗰個支水啊，
我知人間先。
俾人睇啊嘛。
我知人間先，人間。
你咁懶嘅你。
OK。
點樣？
你睇你報紙啦，我行先啦。
我睇報紙。
我走先。She is a perfectionist. She wants things done her way, and so we just have got to respect it and just take it that this is her.
She's known for her wonton mein or wonton noodles and has fed generations of Singaporeans over the course of 60 years in her business. The shop is right smack in the CBD, and despite the lifting of restrictive measures, the area is still deathly quiet.
而家我所做嘅生意啊，真係一落千丈，真係好艱難回到以前我哋嗰陣時。而家要睇下點情形啦，冇辦法啦，繼續捱一下先啦。啲人知道我喺度，好多人都嚟睇下我，見下阿婆啦。我嘅理想就希望繼續落去啦，支持一日得一日啦。唯一我要想保住我嘅男生，唯一我男生啊好辛苦，而家爬到有今日，想繼續想係咁樣啦。
The months of restrictions tested the resilience of hawkers. For one group, their patience finally paid off. They've been waiting for more than half a year to make a comeback. They waited patiently. They call themselves the Three Good Guys, and we met them in the previous season. Here's their backstory. They had a stall at Golden Mile Food Centre. They were complete food novices. They sold mala xiang guo, which isn't Singaporean, but Chinese, translated as numbingly spiced stir-fry. It sounds better in Chinese. Business was good. Then business got bad.
We were somehow hesitating whether to really move out from there, and end of the day, we came up with the decision to relocate.
They moved temporarily into a bar.
There's investor that actually came to look for us. Yeah, so we thought of it for quite some time, whether we want to do it or not. But because we want to try out things, we don't want to be stuck at just one business only. So we're like, okay.
Good exposure for us.
Initial plan for us to start this bar is to also sell our food here.
But then the bad thing is we don't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't cook. So the initial plan wasn't be able to carry out.
The plan now will actually be, we will still be running it, is definitely for sure. We will actually be looking for location.
That was in March. All their plans came to a halt due to the circuit breaker.
During that time, we actually do our own delivery. We actually sell our signature mala wings and then some of our mushroom and stuff.
Since I'm at home, then sometimes nothing to do, then we just do a bit of grab food.
Then until 19 June, then we start to actually come out to search for location.
They were not the only ones looking for a new place. So was their former neighbor, Shafiq, who sells gourmet burgers. Since the beginning of the year, he has been trying to branch out because the center where he's at is due for a major renovation at the year's end.
Would be a problem for us because we wouldn't have 3 months of revenue and all my staff would be out of job.
Just before the circuit breaker was announced, he had won the bid for a stall in Alexandra Village Food Centre, but he couldn't proceed.
We won the bid, but due to COVID as well, any office is closed and we can't go down to sign the TAs and everything, so it's still in a process. And we've been waiting for 3 months already. So hopefully by next month, things will get back to normal, office start to open again and we can actually proceed from there.
He hopes to take something from Golden Mile to the new location, if and when it's ready. He draws inspiration from one dish that's plentiful at the center. Soup Tulang, or bone marrow stew. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Soup Tulang is 100% Singaporean. Created with leftover mutton bones which are boiled down and served in a screamingly red, spicy, tomato-based sauce. The payoff is the marrow inside. Whatever meat that's on the bones falls off easily. The super tender flesh, together with the bright red sauce, presents an intriguing flavor profile.
You had the tulangs from the Indian, the red tulang. So we did a pulled beef brisket to incorporate with the soup tulang. So we are still doing the R&D base, but we are almost there. So here we already have the beef brisket that's already boiling for already 6 hours. So it's going to be boiled all the way for 24 hours till the next day before we actually shred it. We use the same stock. From the coloring, we actually add the paste. So basically it's a mixture of onion, chilies, pepper, mainly a lot of spices inside. This is already shredded beef, already pulled while it's hot. So after this, I'm going to actually cook it again. We heat it up on a pan, on a hot plate to give it a bit of the char flavor as well. We season a bit. We'll just add in the stock to give it like a, usually the French like to call it deglaze. We scrape the bottom a bit. Now we're going to show you the brioche bun. This is a single patty we serve, 100 to 120 grams. So we just put a bit of mayonnaise to ease off a bit on the spiciness. Right, then lastly we're going to have the fries.
The pulled beef soup tulang style burger also goes under the cover of his signature charcoal bun. Shafiq finally gets permission to start up his new stall. It's all systems go. Today is the final fitting day. He gives the branch a look that says a new gen hawker owns it.
What we did differently from the previous stall is we wanted a new outlook, a different vibe to the hawker. Because as you know, we've been serving gourmet hawker burgers, and what can we stand out from the other competitors, doing something different. Yeah. Do something whereby people can take picture and everything, or maybe you can take selfie. Yeah. There's no roof, covering the store. So we had to actually get a net to cover up some hygiene purposes because at the top there might be birds, some dirt's all coming down to the food. So roughly we spent a few $1,000s on doing up. You can see a really very different vibe in terms of Golden Mile and Alexandra Village.
Out in the east, Chef Chick has been waiting for the restrictions to end so that he can continue playing with new ideas. He and his wife run a hawker stall selling Cantonese specialty dishes. They decided to take a short break when the circuit breaker was announced.
嗰陣時我每日都係留喺屋企啊，因為我都驚，我唔知即係話嗰個病咧係咩環境先。
They return after a month, but to changed circumstances.
不過係比較普通啲嘅套餐啊，因為嗰陣時大家都唔係好有心機食啲好特別嘅嘢。
Singapore hawkers, as a general rule, specialize in one dish. This tradition goes back to the time when they roamed the streets and had limited resources. It's a bit different with Chef Chick. As a former executive chef from Hong Kong, he offers quality soups, a range of steamed items, and other dishes that are off menu. These are called Si Fong Choi, or roughly chef's choice.
私房菜咧，通常我哋都係就翻當日比較新鮮或者特別嘅食材而設計嘅菜式所以咧私房菜唔係每日都係同一樣嘢通常都係攞當日最新鮮嘅。
Now he is able to return to his Si Fong Choi idea. Today's special is lotus rice with squid. The lotus leaf is softened in hot water. The rice is fried with a special paste.
今日我準備咗一個俾個客人嘅係龍仔河香炒飯。呢個炒飯我係落咗啲蝦膏，我喺香港咧去到大澳入邊去買嘅，因為好靚嗰啲蝦膏
The squid is lightly marinated with roasted garlic. They go over the cooked rice, and the dish is given a quick steam.
有時都話，我都係講嗰句，有時有啲靚嘅食材咧，我會打電話俾嗰啲熟客，通常佢哋都係好支持嘅。
To go with the rice, there's claypot braised octopus with pork belly and intestines, and steamed tails of sea bass with salted black beans. One hawker who has stuck to the same dishes year in and year out, however, is excited about the changes brought on by a new creation. Mr. Tay, who sells char kway teow and chai tao kueh, has been eagerly awaiting the restrictions to lift and for life to resume normalcy somewhat. He has been waiting for this moment for months. In his arms is his first grandson, who emerged into the world during the circuit breaker period. The child will be taught the Teochew dialect. It's his parents' choice, in an effort to preserve the heritage. Mr. Tay shares the same zeal for his business, but he has to surmount a few obstacles first. Together with his son Walter, he runs 2 stalls selling char kway teow, or fried rice noodles, and chai tao kueh, or fried carrot cake. His wife and daughter operate the stall at Bukit Panjang, while he and Walter look after the one at Kampong Admiralty Food Centre. For reasons of his health, Mr. Tay has decided to call it quits at Admiralty.
因為你這種也是無放掉一屆咧，人手驚未夠，請人咧各方面嘅都成本對，所以咧就是在這個地步之後咧，就是大家佢希望過來Bukit Panjang咧好好多謝 把将这个那个节目做出如更高的水准来答谢顾这顾客，就这样啊。
A month later, Mr. Tay receives some news, and his plan may have to be shelved.
你物件就真正错卡嘅，因为我这个月来薪水已经出了淡薄问题，所以呢，我就想我当爱尽快找人来斗下手啊，来维持我这个生意。所以我就落去楼下买报纸，拄着个朋友，伊就讲开水我问我，但係你愛請人買，愛叫人來甲你做買，就這樣呢先，我就安尼會使你嘅介紹。
我姓黃，叫榮介，人家都叫我阿傑啊，等我來自馬來西亞，現在已經移民過來這邊生活了。
這個土地咧就真正好用，因為伊各方面伊到這個市場做這個市場已經做了成10年，真正最項物件伊有做過。
以前我做過炒雞飯、炒經濟米粉，然後還有做過一些雜菜飯之類的。我也蠻喜歡吃 Kiak 的，所以說就是說想去學多一個手藝。馬來西亞的大多數都是比較小顆吧，而且他們是偏鹹的。新加坡是帶甜的，因為他們有放那個甜醬，還在學習當中啦，因為還不大熟練，要多多學習。最多是60%的。Kiak 會比較難學，因為它比較複雜，有大辣、小辣，又黑又白。很多種款式啊，變成說要時間去適應哦。火的 control 也要去拿捏，有時候太燒就要去調小一點哦。在開始炒的時候，就是要開火下油，之後就是放 Kiak 來炒，而且要打上那個雞蛋，你怎樣弄到它均勻，這些都是一個很考功夫啊。只要你手不靈活的話，是很難炒，而且炒來不及的話，就是會炒搭之類。所以說，真的是要多練習在這一方面哦。
He comes early and practices in a darkened hawker center. As soon as the lights come on, Akit must be ready to face the hungry customers. Today marks the end of his 3-day trial. Mr. Tay assists with the cooking, but only to fry char kway teow. This is one of those dishes that causes disputes whenever someone claims his favorite stall does it best. But one thing is for sure, it takes skill to cook it. Made of rice flour, the kway teow is mixed with the wheat-based Hokkien noodles.
粿條麵愛青，冇夾咩，你這夾咩呢？伊就長長去，伊就脆脆嘅。粿條青啊，你炒起，粿條啊呢？
He marinates them in a soy sauce mixture.
這豆油的配料咧，各人有各人嘅配方安尼生樣。其實你配得好，伊個粿條出來嘅香味就夠。這料內邊咧有加有放淡薄鐵煲粉，了解伊個花露你愛掠得好。 呢個主要就是一把油泡，你當炸了好啊，伊就有香頭啦。
Into this go slices of fish cake, eggs, noodles, black sweet sauce or tiamchio, and fresh cockles.
粿條啊，是得你有心好好啦，去技術來，但一般粿條出來啊。 定到是好食嘅，粿條你就愛有心落去拉，落去炒，這個上出嘅。這個是熟食嘅物件，我哋都盡量都愛收學生啊，就愛把人這種米粉咧傳去個後代。
Today is the day for decisions. Mr. Tay judges his apprentice's work.
師傅好吃嗎？
好吃，好吃。今天呢？ 我就呢特地呢就把这个档口呢交给你去管理，让你好好的去经营，就是好，就这样哦。那么呢，师傅就把那2只虾我自己专做的就交给你，然后就好好的经营，这样好 ，OK 啊 ，OK。
Another mantle was passed during this period. Mr. Lee runs a Sate Bihun stall in Red Hill Food Center. It's a business that's more than 60 years old and was handed to him by his father. Before the circuit breaker, it appeared that he was the last in the line. But since then, one of his sons decided to step up.
所以我家早死又来烧好啦，你一个時期咧要搭買一家己話好個發展，你唔是佢去發展咯。
I went to open my own shop selling salad, but it was a failure 啦。
你總之係病青嘅代志，話可以生意啷佢係真係做。你一路拍成大燈嚟燒好啦，我唔得好咯，你愛嚟鬥下燒唔成好啦。
I'm Samuel Lee. I'm currently 26. I'm currently helping my father at a hawker. Come back and help my father and slowly I'll expand this business in the future. I first came down to the market at the age of 15. 15, I worked for 3 years. Then I went to NS. I'm not going to change anything. This will be the tradition of what is passed down by my grandfather to my father to me.
目前咱小伊是愛啦，伊有聖誕愛來接那個生意。而家落嚟咩事咱都唔知啦。當佢後生囝嘅想法，咱無變哦。有可能小到做生意點上有燈有空口也買，咱嘛無變掉咯。伊來小虎，咱一明早來該做嘅，做落通決定了，我就幫佢去做啦。你嚟該做錯貨嘅，你做平啦。你落嚟佢接手就對啦。你話做開了，我就摸落燈來，摸落去硬下點你嘅龍頭個啦。來吹頭腿背下你明啦。
Sate Bihun is a Singaporean dish in which a bed of blanched rice vermicelli is garnished with slices of meat, cuttlefish, and pork liver. And over all that, a dousing of an unctuous peanut-based gravy. This is made up from a paste prescribed in the recipe by Mr. Lee's father. Today, it is produced in bulk for the stall and general distribution. And it's cooked in a small workshop that's managed by his brother, Stephen.
Over here, this is the peanut paste, which is one of the main ingredients for Sate Bihun paste. These are prepared 2 days beforehand, which we need to roast it. Then after that, we let it cool off, and the second day, we need to grind this peanut paste. And today, the third day, will be for us to get all the mixtures together, okay, for our production. So now we start our cooking process, okay, which we start off with garlic. Fried till it's golden brown and fragrant. Approximately, we will take 10 to 12 minutes. Garlic is just nicely brown. This is the time when we add in the shallot and lemongrass. 你放你的鱼露。
太大了，不用整，太大，可以太大，那个碗太大了。
Okay. Now have the sugar added to it. These are our secret recipe, which consists of 11 herbs and spices inside. Okay, now we're adding in the grinded ginger, belacan, and Cantonese. These are dried fruit.
總之係掟就喺上嗰時攞撚攞料啦，嗰單嘢令蛋殼啲人料味周圍臭大。
Okay, this chili powder is at the same time our natural coloring for our product. Alright, in terms of recipe, everything, there's no changes. Okay, we stick to what we have 50 years ago. The only difference is we have an auto stirrer. Whereas during the olden day, it's 100% manpower, the stirring, everything.
usually per pot that we are cooking, you will yield approximately 60 over kg per pot.
嗰班人攞茶點先是定有水雞，冇呢大雞。啊，你上嚿茶是25 kg 呢？定茶25 kg。
25 kilo production last time per pot, and one day the whole day process we only can produce 3 pots. Okay, and now the final finale, we will be adding in the peanut paste and sesame
我哋
paste.
其他料下嚟食。總之部分上攞唔了啦，佢要營甩了，因為土豆落去要等了喎。但係總落茶走了，會使撩起來了咯，哦。做 supply 是較在 food court 啦，呢個人係80攤啦，嘅人係做沙律邊嘅，人去傳啦，傳嘢嘢裏邊自己做啦。
On the back of a paste and a dish, the Lees have kept the business going for 2, now 3 generations. But as the industry slowly transitions from one generation to another, the character of the hawker culture itself may well change. Towards the end of the circuit breaker, a group of new visitors started making their rounds in hawker centers. They are digital ambassadors. Their mission is to help propel the hawker industry into the new age with a cashless payment initiative called Hawkers Go Digital. The Hawker Center is a time capsule of old recipes, heritage food, and working methods that are mostly analog and tactile. The industry is one of the most cash-dependent in Singapore. COVID-19 accelerated the need to transition to cashless payments in order to minimize contact between persons. But this is an uphill task. Because of their age, the majority of hawkers aren't tech-savvy. It's equally trying for the younger ones who work alongside the old. Hanan is the 3rd-generation hawker of a nasi biryani stall. He works with his father, and they have a customer base made up of long-time regulars. So far, their system is still basic cash and carry.
Last time only use cash, so now you need card. Now recently we just have nets. So people are coming using PayLah, using nets. So it's like I think moving forward, but slow lah. I think for us in Geylang Serai, because we still have makcik-makcik, pakcik-pakcik, still prefer using cash.
Going cashless is also an uphill task for Debbie. She's a young hawker who works alongside older staff, including the boss, her grand-aunt. She's been trying to introduce a bit of zing into the business, now in its 4th generation. She created a lunchtime service that's a twist on zi cha, or cook and fry dishes, prettying them up with a poke bowl style. But payment is strictly a hand-over-the-cash system. Ordering is verbal. There's no cashier machine, which many young hawkers use nowadays to lighten the load.
It's black or white, right? You don't have to have shouting, you know, one order comes in, right? They have to shout at least 3 times or 4 times to each other. So my aunt will shout to the picker. The picker will repeat like, 哈，炒饭啊，没有扬州炒饭，没有咸鱼炒饭，它牛肉炒饭。You know, it gets back and forth because there's communication involved, you see.
一個魚頭湯1碗，一個生腸炒芥蘭落豉汁。
And they are a bit old. Their hearing may not be the best, so it gets confused all the time. And then when the picker pick the food to the chef will like, 啊，不是咸鱼炒饭，没有是牛肉炒饭。Then you have 3 person or 4 person shouting for one order, which I think is very unnecessary. You see, because if you just have a ticket, and you just go like, this is the 炒饭. There's no point arguing. When I tell my grandma, look, why not you have a cashier system where you put your money and you did. You don't have to calculate what $15, $10, $5.90. You don't have to calculate. You just tap. The number come out, you take money. No lah. You have a cashier. Somebody gonna take the whole cashier, go and run. I cannot run. She rather have her small little tong, slowly count the money, mental sum, 1 + 1. Okay lah. If that works for you, I mean, okay, fine.
To prove her point, Debbie experimented with a contactless order and payment system earlier in the year. It didn't get far because the circuit breaker stopped the flow of customers. So going cashless for her is still a work in progress. Other works in progress seem to be moving more smoothly. The 3 good guys who had spent a good part of the year searching for a location finally settles into a coffee shop at Kim Tien Road.
We get to know the landlord over here, pretty nice guy. And then we do a little bit of negotiation, and then after which, we decide to say, let's do it lah.
The trio has now become a quartet with a new member. The name remains the same, not the menu, however.
What we actually do is we are doing a little bit of fusion. We do bento, right? Those kind of lunchbox, okay? And then we also do skewer. We do western, okay? And this time around, we actually infuse with mala, salted egg, and of course with different other sauce, which we will review in the later part of the business lah.
The stall isn't operational for a few weeks yet. There's some rudimentary work to be done. Today, the gas pipes are being installed. Once that's completed, the guys can begin their trial cooking. They tweaked their culinary style too. No more hot woks, but a flat-top grill.
Still very savory.
The display must be better lah.
It brings back some memories lah, like how we used to previously work at Golden Mile. Yeah, some of the... Of course, our skills are still not rusty yet. Yeah.
We also want to make sure that people know that actually the food business is still doable. Even with COVID, lockdown, it's still doable.
The optimism of a business reinstated isn't shared by those who wonder if they should call it a day. One of the newest signboards in the CBD didn't stay around long enough to gather dust. After briefly re-emerging in June, Wei Jie decided to close down his fishball noodle business. He moved his signboard to his father's fishball stall in the wet market.
So basically, at Amoy Street, right, we realized that the crowd is still very bad lah. And then also, we spoke to majority of our customers, then they told us most of them will only be coming back next year onwards. So it's instead of continuing throwing money into this black hole, we decided to just cut it off lah. 短痛不如长痛啦，对。So as for now, we plan to take a break and help out my dad lor. But we will still be operating at the Toa Payoh store. I don't think I will be a hawker lah, because from this experience, right, I feel that firstly it's very, very tough work, and then the margin is very, very, very thin. So as of now, my idea is after this experience, right, I don't think I would want to be a hawker lah.
Madam Leong, who's been a hawker all her life, also made a critical decision when her lease came up for renewal. At 91, she has witnessed massive transformations in the country, and she moved from one location to another, finally settling down at this one. For 2 decades, her signboard has witnessed life on China Street. But this will be its last night. Madam Leong has decided to move on.
真係我就撞起房啊！我乜都噏都得出嘅，我好隱忌嘅，我就係做人好隨便嘅。即係我做咗20年啦，以前嗰一班啊嚇嘅工作人員好好嘅喎，點知今年遇着呢個咁樣難講啊！我啲工人冇辦法威啊，有一啲就啱啱翻中國啦，有一啲咧我就介紹去。 我嗰個細佬嗰度咧，咪去過嗰度俾佢做咯。佢哋有一啲咧就暫時休息先咯，翻嚟再做。我唔捨得啲顧客對我咁好， 同事，我做咗幾十年啦，我啲精神窿中喺晒嗰個男生嗰度啦，將近60年啦。你話咁我點捨得咧？慢慢等下啦，我揾到好嘅地方，東山再起，我會打電俾你哋，我喺報紙會通知咗你哋同網上。
Meanwhile, Shafiq, who has settled into this new location, has had time to assess the results.
So we've been here for a month now. Surprisingly, the crowd from Alexandria and our first outlet in Gunamau is a totally different crowd. You know, in Gunamau, it's more of a, like I mentioned previously, it's more of a 50-50 kind of crowd. You know, we got the Muslim crowd, we got the non-Muslim crowd. But in Alexandria, it's more of the non-Muslim crowd, 80% I can say. And the surrounding, there's a lot of industrial estate as well. So lunchtime, dinner time, the mixture of crowd, surprisingly, it's actually it was a shock for us. It was good. We didn't expect it to be a good response.
This has been the first piece of good news in quite a while. Earlier in the year, he tried to promote his new brand of burgers at a pop-up booth, but met with lackadaisical results. He tried to branch out with a much-desired stall, but he lost the bid. He settled for a brunch in a CBD coffee shop, but the circuit breaker stemmed customer flow, and he was forced to close after a month. He worried that with scheduled renovations at the Golden Mile Food Centre, he would be left without a shop. But finally, he got the keys to a new stall, and business is good. A turnaround that culminated in the biggest change in his life.
Sebagai satu janji setia amanah yang diambil oleh seorang suami, ia merupakan satu amanah yang besar.
On this happy occasion, however, the menu is not about burgers.
We have soto ayam and satay goreng for our appetizer, then followed by mutton dum biryani, fried tandoori chicken, cereal prawn, dalcha, and pickle achar. A dessert, which is eclair, cream puff, fruit tart, and brownies. It's a mixed culture, yes. A bit Asian, a bit Western, and a bit Chinese.
For social distancing reasons, the crowd is restricted to no more than 50 people. A wedding party made as cozy as is allowed. If there's one thing that the year has forced many to do, it's to adapt to change. Hawkers have had to learn how to work with others in the community, relying more than ever on social media.
This situation is quite interesting because it forces us to actually think very quickly on our feet. So I think from this, it actually pushes us to do a lot of things that we always thought that we want to do, but we're like, I can do it in the future, you know? Like, for example, take delivery, for example.
As they navigate the future, will the old ways give in to a new normal?
The new normal, but hopefully is like the old normal. Hopefully lah, the old and the new normal.
I think this will be the new normal where there will be lesser people in the CBD, maybe about 30-40% decrease. And then this is the new normal of crowd that we will get lah. And another thing about, I think this mask thing and will be a long-term thing lah. You have to keep wearing it lah. Hopefully they can make it reduce to a spit guard or maybe a face shield lah.
To me, basically from young, they always say, lak sak jia, lak sak tua. Which I think now it's not this case already. Yeah. I think now it's about being hygienic, make sure you are more clean, you wash your hands every time. I think this is the new normal. Yeah.
I've never thought that I could actually do up delivery or get personal drivers to help send out the food, you see. And I never thought that people actually want zi char to be delivered because, I mean, maybe your house downstairs got zisa, so why would I deliver it? Yeah, but it's proven that these 2 months, there is some demand for it. So I thought the new normal was actually every day I have to keep up with the news and to make sure that I'm very updated and to see what other changes I need to implement. Yeah, which is very interesting, I would say.
The new normal for me, it's office at home. So it's gonna affect us in a way, one way or another. So I'm guessing that in the future we're gonna have hawker deliveries. So individual centers are gonna have their own hawker deliveries, so that we can actually reach more of the clientele outside.
I personally feel that for this year is more of surviving. Yeah, so and plan ahead for future plans for probably next year. How are we gonna reopen for you guys and start all over again?
What will the next year bring? There will be new stories and journeys for sure, as our hawkers continue in the belly of a nation.